Hello, kia ora, I'm Philip Duncan. Thank you for joining us for our Thursday weather update for August the 10th. And we're dealing with some low pressure in the New Zealand area. There'll be more of it next week, but we're also on the outer edges of a lot of high pressure. And so it makes us not really in the thick of anything too stormy, but it also means that we're not really in that perfectly settled dry setup either. So we've got southerlies, southwesterlies, and even a bit of a nor'wester around East Cape and Gisborne this morning. That is moving away gradually today to the east, and there's this three centres of low pressure just out to the east of New Zealand. That's encouraging that southerly flow and those showers that are in the mix at the moment. A lot more low pressure obviously down here in the Southern Ocean, but there's high pressure just off the coast of Queensland and another set of high pressure around South Australia and also the Indian Ocean. So Australia's got no shortage of high pressure. New Zealand would like to see a little bit more of that high pressure coming our way. So let's take a look at the snow that's on the way. Mostly now moving up into the North Island. Nothing too huge in there, but there could be 7 to 10 centimetres of snow in the ranges around Hawke's Bay and into Central Plateau. Elsewhere though, just a light dusting, and it's drying out now in the lower South Island. Same with the rain, so not much in the way in the South Island. Most of it's up here in the north. And by the way, that's quite a normal setup. To get a cold southerly with some moisture around the North Island often can create heavy snow. So we're lucky this one's not too heavy, but that setup we can get a lot of in August and September when we start to see moisture around the North Island interacting with those colder southerlies. But rainfall here mostly in the 10 to 20 millimetre mark, and that is covering the next day ahead. Over in Australia for the next 5 days ahead, most of the rain sort of in the south here. It's like Australia's been dipped into some water, and you can see most of those rainfall totals up down in the south here, around about 5 to 25 millimetres for you. All right, temperatures tonight. Well, today, this is the departure from normal. So a lot of New Zealand today, a little bit cooler, but if you don't have the blue shading and you're in the green, that's normal temperatures for today, maximum temperatures that is. Look at tonight though, colder for most places. Some here inland in the mountains will be over 8 degrees below normal, -3s and -4s down in the south. So a big frosty night tonight around some big parts of New Zealand. So here is the forecast for Friday. You can see what I mean. We're low pressure to the east, high pressure to the northwest, and we're sort of stuck in the middle. And that's the reason why we're getting a variety of wind flows, and some have showers, others completely dry, and there'll be frosts obviously inland. And for Australia, mostly settled, but of course the windy westerlies and those showers continue around Tasmania and coastal parts of Victoria. As we go into the weekend, another cold front just brushing the southeastern corner of Australia, more showers. It's not a lot of rain. I know it's drying out for some of you for inland parts of Victoria and further north, obviously, into Canberra and New South Wales. Over in New Zealand, it's a dry Saturday, so that's good news for many people, but the showers do come in later on, thanks to this very weak low pressure zone. So high pressure is just here, very weak low pressure just here. New Zealand's really on the edges of high pressure. That's why we're seeing a lot of west to southwesterly winds and showers in the mix, but not everyone's getting them. So as we go through the weekend, you see they sort of skip over the top of the country, dry for many other places, still cold in the south, and here is a deepening low, which is going to affect us for next week. But in the meantime, Australia, high pressure for you, and a southerly change just coming up the coastline as far north as Sydney. So next week, a little bit cooler here with that southerly, but here is the next low with northerlies. And on the New Zealand side, this low is going to be with us for all of next week. We're surrounded by high pressure to the northeast, to the south, and to the northwest. So the low is sort of stuck in the middle between all those high pressure zones. And it means that we've got westerlies for the top of the country, which means eastern areas are mostly dry. And it's the opposite in the South Island, where you'll probably see more rain coming into the southeastern corner here around Dunedin and possibly up around Nelson. So it's going to be moving around next week as a result of that low pressure zone. And over in Australia, low pressure to the east around Sydney and a cold front coming into Perth. So still a very unsettled, normal August weather pattern for now, but some hints of El Nino certainly showing up, I think, in the Australian weather maps. That is all from me for today. Back again tomorrow, Friday, with our next update as we head in towards the weekend.